We're live.
We're live. All right. You ready to go, Hannah?
Yep.
Then let's bring the meeting to order at 5:46. According to my computer. Yep. All right. Modifications to agenda. I have one. Does anybody else have anything? Wade? No. Sean? No. Marcel asked that we address the line of credit. This is a already approved loan. For re-upping a line of credit to get us through FEMA work, and it will be paid off when we finish the FEMA work. But the line of credit, it's my understanding, well,
I have the paperwork.
yeah, we can get to that when we get to that. So that's the additional modification. I would put that, I don't know, where do you want to put that? How about right after vacant board seat? Sure. Before cemetery deed? Okay. Marcel, line of credit. I've got the details. Kathy's got the paperwork. All right, anything else for modification? I have none. Approval of the July 13, 2026 minutes. I have a copy here. Has everybody had a chance to read them?
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't have any edits. Oh, well, first of all, let's start with, okay, let's have a motion to approve first.
A motion to approve.
And a second?
I'm gonna abstain, so I wasn't here for the whole meeting.
That's true. Kathy, you want a second?
Second.
Okay, Sean moves, Kathy seconds. Okay, motion on the table. You said you had some edits.
Yeah. Where it says there will be a remainder of about 12,500 of ARPA money that will need to be spent by year end. The original grant was 27,500 minus $1,400. The number should be 26,100 left.
26,000.
Let me look at the minutes. Did the minutes say that the HR Danson was gonna be 12.5 and then?
HR dancing is gonna be 12,500.
And so that's what I thought, that's what the minutes were supposed to reflect. If they didn't, I'm sorry, but, and then the remaining part to spend was the other 12.
Yeah, there should be $26,100 left, because it was a $27,500 pot of money we were told.
Let me make sure I understand what you're saying, Sean. So the pot is approximately 26,100. We're spending 12,500 on the EH Danson report.
The original grant was 27,500.
Got that?
We spent $1,400 so far to EH Danson.
Yeah.
Which leaves 26,100 left.
Yeah, and we have how much?
But the contract I thought for HR Danson was
It's
12.
up, yeah, 10 to 12,500.
Oh, remaining still.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's gonna spend that, and I guess we've got that on the agenda for later.
We do.
But if you want me to spill the beans now, I can do that real quick.
No,
No, we're just correcting last week's minutes. So,
I did that because I thought it was that the 12,500 was what HR Danson was supposed to be, and then after that, we would need to spend the balance before year end for whatever Danson doesn't charge. And that's why it said he needs to make sure all his invoicing is done by November.
I presume it's gonna be done sooner than that. Why don't we just say, we're unsure exactly what the final bill for EH Danson will be, and whatever remainder there is can or could be used to pay down fire truck loan?
Okay, and the original loan was how much, Sean?
27,500, and I believe it was a grant, not a loan.
That's correct.
That is, grant. Okay, I can go in and fix those.
Well, Hannah's here, she can do that too. Sean, is that a friendly amendment to you? Kind of leaving the remainder of the grant a little bit squishy because we don't know what the final EH Danson bill will be?
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted you to know that.
And it would have to be a friendly amendment since you moved it.
Yeah.
Okay, and Wade, friendly amendment?
Yeah,
I'm,
so-
he's
Oh,
abstaining.
that's
I'll do
right,
it.
right, yeah, Kathy, thanks.
And then the other thing I got here, I don't know if it's possible, again, I'm new to all this, but I did apologize to all three of them. I looked right into the owl to Heather and Deb, and I did want to say that whether I misspoke or I was misunderstood, I really meant to say that it was all about the 2024 crushing debacle, and that maybe it was due to the fact that none of them had done it before, and they were not trained in a procedure or policy on how to pay, like you can pay off the.
Sean, can I stop you? We do have select board housekeeping coming up after our first executive session, and if you want to raise that, I think that would be a good place for it.
Okay.
And I'll make sure you get your say. Anything else? Okay. So, does anybody have any other further edits or comments? Kathy, I have none. Thanks, Sean, for catching the financial piece. So, hearing no further edits, all in favor of approving the minutes as amended, please say aye.
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 I'll abstain.
Wade abstains. Any opposed? So Hannah, that sounds, appears the ayes have it. And the ayes do have it, 3-0-1. Okay. So motion to go into executive session for personnel, and since we may have a minute or two, although actually at this point, I think not. So let's just leave it at personnel. Motion to go into executive session for personnel.
Aye.
Hey,
Sean, are you moving?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Kathy seconds. Discussion? All in favor of going into executive session for personnel, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Sean, I didn't hear you, but I don't hear you
I'll take an
opposed.
aye.
Okay, all, it sounds as if the ayes have it, and the ayes do have it. Okay, we're going down to executive session. Ms. Delaney, good evening. 5:11, 6:11.
Is there a motion and a second?
I think we just come out of executive session since we can't take action in executive session.
Okay.
No action was taken.
No action. How do I do this? There we go. All right. All right, so that brings us to select board housekeeping, discussion and action. Sean, do you have any comments you want to make for select board housekeeping?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
Sean, did you take training?
Yes, ma'am.
Which training did you take?
I don't know, whatever's on the computer.
The ethics?
Yeah.
Did you take open meeting yet? No,
Just one.
just one ethics?
Debbie's got a copy of the
Yeah.
certificate. I put her email on there
That's the right way to go. Was that today or over the weekend?
over the weekend, Sunday, after my family left.
Thanks for taking care of that. Or at least the first step. Hang on. There is something. Oh, for crying out loud. Excuse me, folks, while I try to make my disarray a little disarrayed. All right, here we go. So, Sean, I feel that in light of comments made on the record back in the end of June on the 29th, I want to just clarify something, and if you need to respond, of course, you'll have that opportunity. But on the 29th, you said, and this is in the video record, I'm starting to understand that these three, referring to the office staff, came into the job with no training. That's a recipe for disaster from the get-go. What I'm saying is, I don't think the four of them, also referring to the foreman, the four of them all know exactly what their job duties are to begin with. Then last week, on the 13th at the last meeting, you said, I didn't say they were untrained. I said they took the job, and there was an indistinguishable comment. They were appointed, and I didn't know what kind of training they had. Then you went into your apologies. So I just want to say, Sean, that you did make a clear record about lack of training in the town office. That should be part of the record.
All right, so since you brought it up, I want to say that I probably spoke a little too fast for myself. And what I meant to say was that the 2024 crushing issues that the town had, which was before I even came on the board, may have been due to the fact that they had not done it before and did not have a proper policy or procedure or training in order to make sure that the bill was paid. And again, if I offended Heather or Deb or Marcel, I do apologize once again.
Okay, do you have any other comments or?
I'm good. You got something else you want to bring up?
Not at the moment, no, thanks. So, any other select board housekeeping matter? And as a general sense, I wonder if it makes sense to have sort of regular select board housekeeping, as in, does anybody have a newly discovered conflict of interest that they ought to put on the record? Something that's occurred in the last week or the last month that might render them potentially conflicted or actually conflicted, the appearance of a conflict of interest. I'm just looking for better select board performance, better public transparency. It's an open-ended thought process here. Public comments? Hearing none? Okay. I'll have to put that one in the back of my mind. Also, for anybody who's on the live stream, would it be useful to put the live stream address on the warned agenda at the top where we note the meeting location? You can respond in your own way, as you do from your remote location. So, back to the agenda. Let's see, we are at the vacant board seat. Deb's not here yet. So what I have been told is that one person has entered their interest in the board seat. And that person is here, Ron Gray. Do we know of any other potential interest in the vacant board seat? Anybody in the audience interested in a free lottery ticket to a great time? It's important work. Okay, hearing none. Ron, do you have any thoughts you'd like to share with the public and with the select board?
I have 2 years' experience as a select board member, plus 9 years as a school board member. So I am aware of how much work is involved in the position, and I'm willing to commit to that. I've always tried to look at the facts surrounding an issue before making a decision. Try not to come in with preconceived notions. I try my best to represent the voters and vote for what I believe is in their best interests. I guess I'm willing to serve if you're willing to have me.
Informally, the board had kicked around the possibility of questions. I take it no appetite for that?
Thank you.
Okay. Ron, any other comments or shares you'd like to make about your interest in the position? The seat?
No, I can't think of any.
What's the board's favor? Debate, discuss privately in executive session, or go to a vote?
I'm good with waiting to discuss in session.
Okay, so let's see. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn once again into executive session for purposes of discussing filling the vacant board seat.
Is there,
Take a motion?
well, before the motion, is there any way that we could talk about the town garage so we don't keep Roy and his coworker on my home?
Can we do this first and then go to that?
You know, I actually, I kind of blew it because I did tell Roy that I wanted to get him out as quickly as possible.
Okay. That's fine.
It's kind of an awkward moment in the process. What do folks want to do?
So with,
I'm easy, I'm game to switch.
on the modification, you wanna move it up, that's fine.
Well, I propose that we, yeah, and this is my poor organization tonight. I propose that we discuss the town garage report first, just so we don't have to have Mr. Ward and his assistant sitting around unnecessarily. Does anybody object on the board? Okay,
I'll
any
make a
objections
motion
from the audience, public? Ron, can you sit tight for a bit?
It makes sense to me.
All right. Sean, you were gonna
There's a copy for Wade, copy for Kathy, and a copy for Tim.
Can we get one to, the road commissioner too?
I printed it out, so I really don't need a hard
You don't need a
copy.
hard copy? Okay.
And then I guess just for a brief synopsis, I think what it tells us is that a renovation and building new run really neck and neck in terms of cost. I believe in a renovation, it states that we should probably have a large escrow account in case we run into other things that are gonna be costly when we tear the garage apart. And I think dollar and cents wise, it's something around 2 million to 2.2 or $2.5 million in
That's
cost.
the renovation portion, if I understand.
The renovation, I believe was 200,000, with 2 million with a 1 million escrow. And the new would be 2.2 million to 2.5 million, and it's not asking or talking about a big escrow.
Thank you for that. Roy, you're the expert. You wanna pick it up? For starters, Roy Ward from E.H. Danson, the engineer who visited the garage, produced the report, and your assistant is?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. I'm Tim. Kathy, Sean, and I presume you know. Okay,
Just
Sean.
Wait.
Come on, Wade.
It's all good.
Sean.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
please.
so, we did an evaluation of the building. We went down there and took a look at what you had. And the building is currently, I'm told, somewhere around 60 years old, built in 1960 with an addition in the 80s that was done. Buildings of this age or this type of construction, type of use, you can anticipate 50, 75 years worth of life expectancy. It is wood framed. We have no idea what the condition of that frame is because this was a non-destructive investigation. We didn't go cutting holes in walls and cutting out slabs to see what was going on. There are several things that makes a renovation of this building challenging. I'll use that term rather than injecting my personal opinion. The building doesn't meet any of the code requirements for a new facility if you built it today. The only thing you would comply with is the fact that it's for the type of construction, it is appropriate size-wise. You start getting up higher and wood construction and your ability to build buildings according to the code goes down. There's no energy code compliance in the building. Near as we can tell, there's probably fiberglass insulation in the exterior walls, which doesn't meet code anymore. The egress, the lighting, the egress lighting, the emergency lights, exit signs and things like that are non-existent. The exit signs are not lit. In other words, they're just placards on the wall. Handicap accessibility, there's nothing in that building that complies, from what I could tell. There are issues with wiring. It's age appropriate stuff in the building, but it's no longer compliant with current codes. And it appears that over the years, we use the term farmered. People made the best out of what they had. So there were probably a lot of improvements to this building over the years, and folks did the best they could with what they had. And I get budgets and town situations and things like that. So that's not a criticism, it's just a fact of life, and a lot of it was not done in a way that would meet code compliance today. So I was asked to look at two options: renovation and new building. So if you renovate this building, if you do all the things that I think you've talked about, one of which was raising the roof, taking the existing roof off, building up the outside wall of the addition, and constructing a whole new roof over it, that gets you a building with one bay that is taller than what you have now. So basically, the addition just gets taller. The rest of the building doesn't really change from that standpoint. If you're looking to just provide yourself with another bay, then that'll work. But if you do that, the fire marshal's office is going to come in and say, well, if you can do that, you can bring the rest of the building up to code. To do that, we have to strip the siding off the inside and the outside of the walls. Gut the plumbing, gut the wiring, lighting, all of that would have to come out and change. If you're looking to provide a facility where people can work comfortably, if you've been in there, you know what I'm talking about. It's a mess. And that's not a criticism of anybody. It's just a fact of life in an older building like that. And it hasn't been well cared for. I'm sure the guys do a great job, and that's not to fault anybody, just so you understand my point here. If you're looking to provide a facility where people want to come to work and want to take care of it, then you're going to want to make improvements so that you can have bathroom facilities, maybe a shower, a place for people to meet, a break room perhaps, and things like that. And to do that, it's going to require more space. Your bathrooms are going to have to get bigger, and so on and so forth. So that starts to impose on the space you have for your existing equipment, which is minimal. You saw in one of my sketches, we couldn't get all the stuff in there. And I know I talked to Jim Hayes, and he was telling me there are vehicles you can't fit in there because the doors aren't big enough. Your biggest door is a 14 by 14. We just finished the design on the central garage relocation for the Agency of Transportation. Because of the change in size over the years, we've been working with those folks at AOT for probably 25, 30 years. The doors went from 14 by 14 to 16 by 14, and they're getting bigger because the equipment continues to grow in size. The heights won't change, but the widths with the plows and so on are affected. So you're only going to have an extra set of doors, one extra set of doors if you renovate and lift the roof and the whole thing. But you've got to basically gut the whole business. Once you do that, you take the roof off. Now, what are you going to do with your equipment and your people? That you're going to have to rehouse them somewhere. That's an additional cost if you have to rent space. Sean brought up some of the contingencies. You called it an escrow. We call it contingency. Same thing. In a renovation, because you don't know what's in the walls, you don't know what's under the slab, we don't know whether there's environmental problems because the trench drains, I'm told, go out to the catch basin and then disappear into a swale somewhere, a drainage ditch. That's what I was told. So anything that would drain out of those vehicles is going to be contaminated and could potentially be a contamination, soil contamination problem. So all of that would have to be mitigated. So it starts to compound. The contingency, as I talked about, when you get into walls and things like that, you don't know what you've got. So we always have a higher contingency on an older building like that. And I suggested something upwards of 25%. In a new building, we would do 10 to 15%, something like that. Those costs I gave you are based on just averages. We did a building in Barton 2 or 3 years ago that was $305 a square foot. We budgeted one for Coventry. I think it was last year, we said $350 to $400 a square foot. So what's it going to be next year? Because prices are going through the roof. So just understand those numbers in there are not estimates. Those are order of magnitude costs. So what I did was I took a new building, exactly the size that you have now, 4,800 square feet, put $400 to it. And then I began to subtract the things we could keep. So in other words, exterior wall framing, I'm guessing, because I haven't seen it, but if you keep all of that the way it is, then you've got some savings there. With the concrete foundation, I put a number to that. And then I worked my way backwards to get to some figure that was about $2.2 million for a renovation. To do a new building, I said, well, let's give you one more bay. Let me give you 4 bays that I know will fit. Plus, I can give you some other space, so a 6,400 square foot building, something like that. I said the same thing, $400 a square foot. And we came up with that figure, it's about $2.5 million. So there's a $300 difference, $300,000 difference. Where the trouble is if there's any contamination in the soil, you've got a big mitigation problem. That's an expensive proposition to excavate soil and get all the testing done and have the environmental folks come in. If you're going to, there's also all the plumbing, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, but there's also all the plumbing and things like that that have to come out and be redone. So there's a lot of unknowns with a renovation like this. We have to strip everything down so we can bring it up to code for energy purposes. But some of the unknowns are a little scary to me.
All right, do you want to finish your whole presentation, or would this be a good place to break in with a question?
Break right in.
Your comment was, the fire marshal would say, if you raise the roof, a funny term actually, you have to do these other things as well, you know, bringing it up to code. Is that an actual fact, or is that kind of just perspective?
The state fire marshal's office is very accommodating, particularly to towns. So you might have a situation where they say, look, over time, you've got to do at least this. But if the condition this building's in, my suspicion is you're going to have somebody come down and say, bring it up to code. And they'll give you a list of things you're going to have to bring up to code.
Not that you want to go down that route, but if they say, do this, is there an appeal in the process? If we say we don't need to do that, why should we? Can we appeal your decision here, your directive?
You can have that discussion. You can always appeal to a higher power, but ultimately they will decide what they want to do.
So I'll leave it right there and let you continue.
Yeah, we've done some buildings. Once you get to over 5,000 square feet of garage area, you have to sprinkler the building. We've come up with ways to accommodate that in some of our designs. So we don't think that's going to be an issue, because that's a $500,000 project to just get on-site sprinkler work done. But I think we could, there's an opportunity here to build a new building and keep that one for storage. And what it gives you that you won't have if you renovate is a facility that's, number one, new, and it's going to last you 50 to 100 years because it's steel, not wood. And you still maintain the existing building for storage and things like that. It wouldn't be a building I would suggest you occupy, but you could certainly use it for storage of some of your vehicles over the winter. The suggestion we made was a 4-bay garage, but you may look at that and go, you know, if we're going to do this, let's go after it and do a 5-bay garage. We've done those.
Does that change the square footage into the sprinkler requirement?
What we did in Barton, that was a 7,200 square foot building. We were able to use firewalls to divide off the occupancy, the business occupancy, and reduce the size of the garage area to under 5,000. It's like 4,990. And that works.
Okay.
The issue for me is longevity. How much longer how much more can you get out of that building? It's sort of maybe this is an unfortunate analogy, but it's sort of like giving a heart transplant or a kidney transplant to somebody who's already way past the age of living a quality life. This building's already lived its useful life. My recommendation at the end of this was build a new building, because I think you're going to get more value out of that than you have now. But that's entirely up to you.
I agree.
So for purposes of discussion, and we can't make any decisions tonight because we need the treasurer's office to weigh in with financials, but Mr. Ward, what I'm seeing is your experienced best estimate is $300,000 apart from trying to renovate with all the unknown unknowns versus 2.5 million to build new with a contingency thrown in. So for the additional 300,000, if I'm reading this right and hearing you right, we're gonna get a new building with all the new building functionality, energy efficiency.
Right.
I mean, am I mistaken, or is that a decision that appears to be making itself?
Well, you're not missing my point. So you've got it right. I want to caution you again, these are not cost estimates. These are order of magnitude costs. So is it $400 a square foot for a new building? That's without site costs, without contingencies, without development fees and all that stuff. So it's not a $2.5 million project. It's probably closer to 3.5 with all of the other things that have to go into it.
Well, you said 10 to 15% contingencies.
Yep.
You're saying there's gonna be even more costs on top of that.
Yeah, there's architectural fees, there's engineering fees, there's permit fees, there's insurance costs.
The bonding board, whatever that's called, an attorney for that.
Well, if you want to have it bonded, if you want to do bonds, it depends on your funding. If you've got a company that's been in business for 150 years, you get their financials, you probably don't need to worry about a bond, because what a bond is insurance in case somebody goes belly up in the middle of your job.
Did you say permitting as in Act 250?
I don't think you're under Act 250, but it did say permitting based on the State Fire Marshal's office.
Why do we escape Act 250? Not that I'd complain about that.
I'd have to look and check out the permitting on that. You would need water supply and wastewater, and you would need stormwater.
Couldn't we tap into the current well supply
Yes,
and the current, I assume there's a leach field up there already?
we assume. Yep, you could tap into those, but it's a new connection to a new building.
Unknown.
And the state
still.
really wants your money. All those permits have a cost to them. The current cost of a construction permit from Division of Fire Safety is $8 per thousand. So you can do the math, it's $40,000, $50,000.
Define again what you mean by orders of magnitude cost estimation.
To do a cost estimate, we wouldn't do one because that's way over our head. What we do is we do a set of drawings that defines all of the things that go into a building. Contractor takes that and he takes off all of the different parts and pieces. How many doors are there? Are there 10 doors? Are there 5 doors? The door's $1,000 a piece these days with hardware and a frame. So they would start to estimate those quantities of things. How many square feet of drywall do you have? We don't have any drawings of this. So we don't know what size building you want. We don't know what all the finishes are yet, because you may have requirements we don't know about yet. So we take square foot cost and we apply what we know currently today is about right. So I called some of my contracting friends and I said, so where are we today? And they're saying $400 a square foot will work today.
You're right at my next question, and you're contracting yours.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Tariffs, you know what that did to us?
I-
Turned the whole world upside down. We have no idea what things cost anymore. And we don't want to talk about politics, so.
Well, I want to keep it grounded in objectives.
Yeah. Exactly.
What else do we need to know to have a productive, efficient conversation with our treasurer's office and your report here?
Well, if you want to know what costs are, the best way I can suggest that is we do what's called a schematic design. So we sit down with Ron and Jim, the guys that are boots on the ground, if you will, and we outline what it is you're trying to do in this building. And then we put together a design. It's a preliminary design. It's basically what you see in the book there. It just shows you, yeah, this is what we want. This is what it looks like. Then we can get that estimated because there's enough information there for somebody to give you some real numbers. And we put together a development budget based on a schematic estimate, contingencies, and all of the development fees and things that we know about. And that'll give you a project cost. It's like I'm asking for more work, but.
Yeah, well, that was my next question. If I understand correctly, we asked you to do a preliminary study for X dollars, and that is this now, correct?
Correct.
So that step is about to be completed and finished.
Yep.
If I understand this correctly. So the next step you're saying is we would need to continue hiring you to develop, what did you call them?
A schematic design.
Schematics?
Yep. It's just basically, it's not as crude as just hand-drawn sketches, but it is a floor plan and elevations and a section through the building that give you an idea of what this is about. We haven't nailed down all of the nuts and bolts yet. We haven't got the, we have some idea about the mechanical system that's going to go in. Are we going to do a pre-engineered building? Or are we going to do a stick-built steel frame building? We kind of know that the outside of the building is going to be insulated metal panels probably. So we have enough information available so that a contractor can sit down and do a takeoff and say, this is about where you're going to be. But we haven't got everything nailed down. I haven't figured out the type of hardware yet on the doors. We haven't figured out the exact light fixtures and things like that.
So the board has to go through a little bit of its process, get the treasurer's department involved. And board, I'm asking all the questions here, and I'd really like folks to be chiming in with their questions too.
Would you be able to give us an idea of what the next phase would cost?
That's where I was going as well.
Yeah, I can. Not right here.
Yeah.
Not right now, but yes, I can go back and give you a proposal.
And
Yes, please.
how do we make this work best? Because we have financial considerations here and certain funds available to help us move this process forward. And getting that finalized and billed before December 31st is kind of one of the deadlines we're working with. You tell me now. Does that work as far as developing schematics in your office with you?
It's tight. I think we can do it, but it's tight. We're just really busy.
Tight, but you can do what we would be looking for, which is a really good quality job for the,
Yeah.
for your
For
compensation.
the first phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ideally, when would you want the go-ahead to do that contract, et cetera? Yeah, I know.
Where are we? Was it the
27th
27th
of
of July?
July,
Yeah, I mean,
ASAP.
yeah, a couple of weeks would be great. The longer you wait, the harder it gets.
Couple of weeks max is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, and you know, this is, it's, yeah, we try to be flexible and we try to work with you, so. You tell me it's gonna be 3 or 4 weeks, okay. If it's beyond that, it gets a little bit more difficult for us. But the first step would be to meet with the folks you decide, if you have a building committee or something like that. And we lay out what it is you need, what it is you want. And then we try to put that together in a responsible way.
Well, now you said some different words. We don't have a building committee. We have a road commissioner, we have a foreman, and we have a board that's sort of collectively making decisions. Do you have a recommendation for how this generally works well in your experience?
Well, a lot of towns will put together a building committee, which is 3 to 5 people. It's gotta be an odd number, because if they have to vote, then you know how that goes. And there's a chairman of the building committee, and that is my connection. The building committee reports to the select board. I can show up at a select board meeting and explain the things if I need to, but basically, I work with the chairman of the building committee. He goes back and says, okay, here's what we think we're gonna do. How's everybody feel? The building committee agrees on something, they get back to me. I produce something, they bring it to you. You can see how that works. They're the intermediary. It can be one person, as far as I'm concerned, but you may have more than one person that's really invested in this, like the road commissioner and the road foreman. Those guys have boots on the ground and they know the ins and outs of what they do.
Who, in your opinion, is part of a good committee in a project like this?
It varies.
Board, members of the public, road commissioner, foreman?
Members of the public, I tend not to do that. I mean, at some point, you're gonna present it to the public to get money, I assume, a bond vote or some such thing. And we participate in that process with you. But often, members of the public aren't necessarily, there may be some that are really connected and really understand what the job is, but they often don't understand the process very well. And so it just makes it more complicated, but anybody.
To be fair, nobody on this board really understands the process well either, including myself.
Well, you're not gonna be in the building committee then, are you?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
just,
learn, but
I'm being facetious, but you understand my point. I think I mentioned to you before, a camel is a horse designed by a committee. So having people who are really in tune makes the process more streamlined. So, while the public may offer valuable opinions, they're not always educated opinions, if you understand my point here.
informed, I guess.
Yes,
Technically informed.
right. That, by example, when I start describing energy codes and air sealing and things like that, I've had people sit across my conference table and tell me I'm wrong because their grandfather told them how to build buildings and he never had one fall down yet. All well and good. This doesn't meet the energy code. And they're talking to me about their grandfather and what he knew. And that was 100 years ago. And now we're in 2025, 2026. And technology has changed. Building science has developed a long way. And okay, I'm not gonna argue with a person like that, but I can't do what they want because it doesn't make any, buildings should leak, they should breathe. Well, not anymore.
So to break this down, you've presented two options and we should figure out which options we like the best, aside from the preliminary conversation we've had here and now, just now. And then we ought to think about a point person or a committee with a chair to be sort of acting as the intermediary between yourself and the board as a whole. Do I have that right?
Yeah, because when I start asking questions, I need to be able to get in touch with somebody so that we can work together to make sure you get what you need.
Anybody else? Questions? Sean?
I'm good at the moment.
Sam,
Yeah, okay. Jim?
I just think that, you know,
Oh, there he is.
I discussed things with you about the garage. I just want to mention to the board that I think it's very important that when we're talking about this committee or this person, that you have somebody that's there, that lives there. Because there isn't anybody in the public that understands what our needs are in that garage. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as oils and as far as trucks with plows and the whole nine yards. There has to be, I think, in order to be productive and establish a building that's gonna work for us, that all has to be put into that in order to come up with a decent plan.
Right.
And I think that, you know, depending on this committee or whatever, you're gonna have an awful lot of people that have never done anything like this. They don't have any clue as to how to set this up, so it's beneficial to the highway department. And I just think that that needs to be taken into consideration.
Well, to respond to that, I hope we're gonna have the input of the foreman with the engineering team and the input of the road commissioner. And I, for one, am a big believer in people who know their business and stand on their credentials, professional credentials. So, I can't speak for the rest of the board, but my 20% is I'm listening to the experts. I presume everybody else has a similar feeling.
And also we have the fact that they built or designed the garage in Barton, designed a garage for Coventry. And if we need to look at how other towns' garages operate and look, we have something right there to go off of.
Yeah, I mean, visit Barton. I like that one. It's like 5 bays. It's huge. But it's got a isolated wash bay. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. We've been doing these for the Agency of Transportation for, like I said, 20 plus years. So we've got a lot of experience with this type of building. So
To get to a meaningful schematic, I presume we have to, at some point between today and whenever a schematic is finished, be discussing what kind of functionality and materials we want inside the building.
that's where we would start.
You said wash bay. Sounds like a great idea for maintaining equipment, salt, corrosion protection in the winter, et cetera.
Yeah, exactly. But that would be our first step. So, do you need a break room? Do you need a conference room? Do you need a shower in your facility for the guys after they come back from a nasty job, taking care of something that nobody wanted to take care of?
Yep.
What kind of amenities do you want for your staff? What is the biggest piece of equipment you're gonna get 5 years from now? Or 10 years? What's your projection for replacing equipment or buying additional equipment? So we wanna know all those things so that we can design a facility that's gonna work for you, not just today, but 10, 20 years down the road.
And that's the conversation that we're having, not today, but to start shortly, I presume.
Yeah.
St. John's Grade, Vermont.
I'm just turning this off. Good Lord. How do I turn, oh, there we are. Okay. Apologies.
No worries. I hate those things. I have one, but I hate them.
Yeah. I was saying, that's the conversation we're having about the function we want out of the building.
Yeah.
And that starts immediately when we agree we're moving on to the schematics, and E.H. Danson are the guys.
Yep.
Okay.
And gals.
Thank you.
I'm her ride, so she's stuck with this.
I did not mean to be gender exclusive, and I apologize for that. And the gals.
We have more women than men in my firm, so
No offense taken.
it's fine.
And good.
Yeah.
What else do we need to know right now?
If you have any questions, I'm available.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, thank you.
Thanks for moving me up to the front.
You're welcome. Thank you for a good presentation. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much.
And pleasure to see you again.
We'll have an answer soon.
It was Elizabeth.
Yes,
Good to meet you.
you too.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. We had last left that we were putting a motion on the table to go into executive session to discuss filling a board seat vacancy. Ron, you're still good? No other comments?
No.
Okay.
What's the term for that one?
Till the next town meeting when it's,
It's not the remainder of his term?
No, it's March and then it goes up.
the public will vote on the remainder of that remaining term. Deb, did we figure out what
2028?
2028 will be the termination of that term? Okay, motion to go into executive session to discuss filling the vacant board seat.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Kathy seconds, Sean moves. Discussion? All in favor of going into executive session, say aye.
Can we just go in here and we have to go downstairs?
Whatever you like.
You're going in.
Okay, all in favor of going into executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. 6:59, Heather? I'm sorry, Hannah, did we miss that on live stream?
Sean,
Yes, it was still muted, sorry about that.
Okay.
An agenda item for next.
Yeah.
For purposes of the audience, we came out of executive session. We moved, Kathy moved, Wade seconded to appoint Ron Gray to the remainder of the select board term, subject then again to a town vote for the remainder of the term out to 2028. But Ron was voted 3-0-1 to be the appointed select board member finishing this year's term. So just wanted to catch up the audience. That's where we're at. All right. Thanks for stepping up. Appreciate it. And so you can share the,
I get it.
you got an agenda, all right? I don't know if we're gonna address this tonight, but we have to do an NVDA appointment and a vice chair.
You can reorganize at your next meeting.
I was gonna say, let's do them at the next meeting.
Fair enough.
They aren't on the agenda.
Yeah, all right. Let's see, then Marcel line of credit, I think is what we were gonna attack next.
Can we go to cemetery deeds so that I can?
Oh, you wanna get out of here?
Yeah, I'd like to go.
Now we can
You
do,
got it.
okay, we have 3 cemetery deeds.
Let me check. Anybody have an objection to going a little bit out of order here? You good, Sean? Okay. Mr. New Select Board Member, do you care if we get a little out of order here?
Yeah.
Cemetery deeds, okay, thanks. Yeah.
If you don't mind, we have 3 cemetery deeds. One of them is a corrected cemetery deed for Hooker Anastasia. There was a clerical error. So there's not, it's just a lot number was wrong.
Do we even need an action to fix a clerical error?
No, we just need to re-sign it.
Okay.
So I can re-record it. The other one that is in there, Bill Piper owns multiple lots in the Lower Waterford Cemetery. He has agreed to sell back one of his lots to the town. And I am totally in favor of that. I just need board permission to purchase land back.
Can you tell us the terms?
He bought it back in 1996 for $200, and that's what we will pay.
I'll move.
I'll second it.
Okay, Wade moved, Kathy seconds, discussion?
You don't need to.
We don't need to do anything. This is
I just
just
need
another-
permission to be able to buy it back.
Do you want our new select board member on the correction here?
Just 'cause, the third deed you have there is actually my deed, and that piece of property that we just bought back, you just sold to me. So, I just,
We couldn't even make $25 somewhere?
I'm paying, no, I'm
No,
paying,
she's paying
I'm
full
paying
price.
$1,000 for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that's what the going price is right
You're
now.
not making any personal plans here, are you?
No. Just fine.
Okay, so, let's see, this is,
So you're only signing the Illinois one, you're not signing the Piper one.
we don't have to sign for Piper?
Piper signs it because he's selling it back to us.
Gotcha, okay, but then why are we even talking about it?
Because I need permission to buy the property. I cannot buy property, that's a select board decision. Just like I can't sell property, you have to sign off on it.
So you still need an action on the Piper?
I just need you to give me the, yes, I can buy the land back.
Yes, you can. And
Should
he
we
made
make
the
a
motion.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Wait,
an official action.
make the motion.
He made a motion.
Okay, Wade moves,
I second.
And he seconded it.
Sean seconds,
So we just need to vote on
discussion then?
Yeah, I'm good on discussion.
Okay, all in favor of,
Buying back lot 4A in the Lower Waterford Cemetery.
Aye.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Here's the ayes have it.
And now you just need to make a motion to sell that piece of property.
The ayes do have it. Okay, so motion to sell lot
4A.
4A in the Waterford Cemetery.
to Chris and Deborah.
Christopher and Deborah Benoit.
So
Well, it doesn't matter who it's to, does it? Wade moves, second.
I'll second.
Kathy seconds. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Here's the ayes have it. Sean? That concludes the cemetery
That's the
portion.
cemetery.
Ron, did you vote in those or did you abstain?
I voted, I don't know if I was supposed to or not.
You are an official board member now.
So I think your next item,
We moved to put in the line of credit.
Marcel.
yeah, that's not a me thing, but.
Oh,
Can we go to justice of the peace?
Oh, yes.
justice of the peace.
So what's happening this year is this is a year that we have to put justice of the peace on the ballot. They get voted every 2 years. Their term starts February 1st of the odd year and goes for 2 years. So we vote on them in November. And because the state of Vermont is sending out absentee ballots to everybody in November, in order for me to put JPs on the backside and be counted by the tabulator, I need select board approval.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Sean moved, Kathy second. The purpose is to, vote in November for the justices of the peace. This is not a town meeting decision and vote.
No, no.
Okay,
So we vote on them in November and their office starts February 1st. If you vote not to have them on the ballot, that means y'all get to hand count the vote.
I like automatic counting. You have 11 names, we're gonna be choosing 7 at the vote.
Yeah, I think we have 10.
Okay.
So the motion is to approve putting it on the ballot?
Yes.
Justice of the peace on the ballot for the November elections. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion to put the JPs on the ballot in November, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Here's the ayes have it.
Thank you.
So the
Let's
next
do that.
item is the fuel bid.
Yep.
Bid, you wanna do that while
I
you're
would
still
love to,
here?
I would love to, if you wouldn't mind.
You wanna
Oh,
take it?
We're just knocking out your business.
So you had requested that I get fuel bids for the upcoming season. I have heard back from 3 vendors. Fred's gave you a price of $4,029.
Congrats.
Dead River gave you a price of $415.2. And Irving Oil gave you a price of $441.6. You have a couple options. You can lock in with any one of these 2 companies. You can ride the wave and see what happens once the Strait of Hormuz is back open. Or you could opt to lock in a lesser amount and see what happens and lock in September at a different rate. Could be higher, could be lower.
You know, it's interesting, if I am understanding what has happened today, the first bid we have at 441 was the first one you had received today, correct?
Correct.
And then Dead River, and this is all in real time, as the prices have declined $7 or $8 per barrel on the market today. I wonder if that's being reflected in the order of the bids here that we have received. My point being that trying to predict future oil prices in this market is just nuts. And these are pretty high prices.
Last year you paid $279.
And none of us know what's gonna happen politically in the next 2 to 6 months.
I'd like to lock in at the lower price right now, and then it comes down in September, renegotiate.
Is there a renegotiation?
I can lock in for a certain amount of gallons. There's the potential. This is what they have
But that's
suggested.
a contract, and
We
we're
will
gonna
have-
be bound to that.
Right. So-
No escaping.
Right. So we typically, contract for 3,500 gallons. So you could pick a number and lock in at that price. And revisit it in September. It could be higher, it could be lower.
In the back of my mind, I'm thinking a clever hedge might be to say, let's agree to 1,000 gallons with Fred at $4.03 a gallon, and leave the remainder of the 2,500 gallons open to see how the market's reacting.
That was gonna be my suggestion.
1,000 gallons is something I pulled out of the air. What do folks think?
Sounds reasonable.
I mean, we did use all of our gallons that we had last year, but the fire department has done some more installation work, because they're one of the big consumers of our fuel. So hopefully their consumption will go down a little bit.
We would keep track of the $1,000 so that we know.
It's the 1,000 gallons.
1,000 gallons, I apologize.
Fred's usually does. I can ask them to give me a heads up when we're getting close. I mean, 1,000 gallons is us each getting filled up once. Because we're 275 tanks.
We're not gonna be anywhere close to using up 1,000 gallons by the time we might wanna come back and revisit this though.
No,
And
no.
so your process would be, say, September or October,
Get our first delivery.
that plus, hey, let's revisit the remaining 2,500 gallons. And hopefully it's gonna be cheaper then. Okay, so, what do folks wanna do?
Make a motion for the 1,000 at 402 and see what happens after that.
And if Fred says, no, we can't do that,
We are
We
free to
authorize,
contract,
right?
did they give you a volume discount at
I'm
402?
not sure, I have to find out.
Is there a drop date, dead date when you have to answer them by?
This quote is good for less than 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
That's how the market's changing.
Which makes you wonder if tomorrow's price might be 390 or 380.
I mean, we can push it off another couple of weeks. That's not a big deal.
Last 2 weeks, the prices have just gone up.
They've gone up since the last time.
Exactly.
They were like 418, I think, last time we talked.
Have I tracked the crude oil prices, and I suppose that you and I combined still have no clue what's apt to be happening in next week, never mind in a month or two.
Because this one company, last Wednesday was 419. July 8th, it was 380. At one point, it was 360. June 24th. I mean, I could contact them tomorrow. If they say no, 1,000 gallons won't work, then I'll just say, okay, I guess we'll wait, if that's what you want me to do.
I'm just looking up the closing price today. $82.08 today. Well, there must have been some bad news because it looks like the prices spiked a little bit again at the end of the day.
Here's a couple of these books for the town office.
You made a motion, didn't you, Sean? Did you make?
Did you make a motion?
Yeah, that we were gonna go for 1,000 gallons at 402. And Deb would get back to us when the 1,000 gallons is neared out, and we'd see if we could get a different price. Whether that be higher or lower,
Well,
I
to be
guess.
clear, we probably want to be locking in sometime no later than,
September.
as early as September. So we're not going to be anywhere near using 1,000 gallons by September, but we want to take care of the last 2,500 gallons and get a price for it.
I mean, I know that the heat is not on here, and if we need heat, we have electric. I don't know what any other department is doing.
So anyway, Sean has a motion on the table to enter into a contract with Fred's at 403 for 1,000 gallons. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Wade seconds. Further discussion?
If they don't go for the 1,000 gallons, I'll let you know.
Motion is subject to them accepting the partial volume that we requested a bid on. Is that a friendly amendment to you, Sean?
Yeah, and then we should also
And Wade,
probably. we should
Friendly
also
amendments?
Probably have to the amendment that if it's not accepted, it should be on the next agenda.
Absolutely.
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 Okay, fair enough. Any further comments, discussion? Move to the vote. All in favor of the motion, 1,000 gallons with Fred at $4.03 a gallon, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Okay.
Appears the ayes have it, and the ayes do have it. 4-1. Okay,
Is that it?
Deb, anything else?
That's it.
Any other documents, Kathy, can slip that folder into the black box or slip it under the door?
John, what would you have done?
I don't know, I just was probably more willing to gamble that the rate is gonna come down, but, so I didn't wanna lock in at the higher rate. Based on what's happened so far, it's gone up every time, so.
And I know,
I'm not saying, just a guess.
Yeah.
and I know for me, I have 2 oil tanks downstairs, so I have two 275s. Highway department has 1 or 2. They have 2 as well, and the fire station has 1. So we'll literally at 1 drop, and 1,000 gallons will be done.
Okay, well, we've got a start to it at least.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, have a good night.
You as well.
Very formal there.
Okay,
We're back to Marcel, line of credit.
okay, so, we just need to vote. The bank made a mistake when they did the paperwork. So we just need to have,
It's a correction more than a real action, isn't it?
yes, it's a correction.
So for process purposes, make it a board action, or is it just a board
We
signature?
need to, they need the minutes from 7/27 meeting authorizing 185,823.28 being rolled over for another 12 months and authorizing the additional 159,000.
Oh, I see what's going on, yeah.
He needs it to, so he can pay till he gets the next FEMA payment, the
Yeah.
last FEMA.
So this is an action. So I would ask for a motion to approve rolling over the remaining line of credit for the amount of,
$185,823.28.
28 cents.
okay, we'll move it.
Well, before I move it, I want to ask about the 159. Does that need to be in the motion, Kathy?
It just says, I need the minutes from 7/27 meeting authorizing 185 being rolled over for another 12 months and authorizing the additional 159,000. Says I need an exact number, so, it just says, Select Board needs to vote on note and sign all documents if approved. Marcel, balance of $1 million, line of credit for storm damage. So,
Before,
So we should say so moved as Kathy read it?
yes, because the paper that we're gonna sign is $185,823.28, and that's what we need to sign.
okay, and I have some further information to round this out, but that's discussion once we have a motion on the table. So Wade, are you still good with moving it?
I am.
Okay, can we have a second then on the motion?
I'll second it.
Kathy seconds. Discussion then. What I understand is that from Marcel, we will have the ability to pay this off in full in approximately 2 months at the most. And this is going to be done through reimbursement of FEMA monies at project completion. I've got some numbers here, and I'm not, these are project numbers. So there's a 60,000 coming back from one project and 91,000 coming back from another project, 5.5% annual interest prorated for whatever the 2 months are. Plus we get 75% of the interest we have paid coming back to us. So pursuant to Marcel's calculation and the treasurer's department work on this, we expect to be able to pay off this line of credit in approximately 2 months. That's what we're up to here. So any further comments or thoughts about it? Hearing none, move to the vote. All in favor of the motion to extend or roll over the line of credit in the amount of, Kathy?
$185,823.28.
Please note your approval by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed to the motion? Hearing none, here's the ayes have it, and the ayes do have it.
I think so.
3 places to sign, let me see, Ron, I guess you get to miss out on this fun tonight, you know?
Oh, is there another place to sign?
There's, I think there's 3 spots, Kathy. Since I have it, I'm just gonna sign it.
Okay.
Can I, pass it to Sean first?
Yep.
Alrighty, Sean. Let's see. Few bids, just piece, repurchase cemetery, sales piece, we're good on that. All right, so the next item is a re-sign of the fire truck loan. And if my understanding of this is correct, we're literally just fixing a clerical mistake on the loan paperwork. We're correcting the document. So I presume the document is corrected and it requires signatures. Does the board want to vote on that or just sign it as a matter of
I think
course?
we just had to sign it. It didn't say we had to do anything. We just have to sign it because the bank did some sort of error when we did it.
Okay, here's for additional signatures.
Different than the one that you signed for the line of credit, right?
Yeah.
Or
The
is it
line
the
of
same?
credit is very independent.
Okay.
What we're on now is the fire department loan, and it's just an administrative correction. So, road commissioner, update, discussion action. Are you prepared to offer any thoughts?
Sure. Yeah, I sent a report to you, but it was pretty late this afternoon.
I haven't seen anything yet.
So, yeah, I just put recent work. The road crew continues grading, spreading gravel. We've started roadside mowing. And Jim and I met on Crossroad this afternoon and talked about the grant work that on the paved portion of Crossroad. And if I'm correct, Jim, that has to be signed off by the select board to
By an
send
authorized agent.
to VAOT to get final approval.
Right. Oh, wait a minute. I signed a number of documents on Saturday, and it might have been the Crossroads project as well. I took notes here to notify the board, and I've just been busy. Apologies. Anyway, go ahead, because if there's a signature still needed, I will obviously take care of that.
Okay, and Jim has been working on selecting areas for the other grant, the $24,000 grant to make road improvements, and been choosing the selections, but as I understand it, you can't finish your work. You need the iPad to,
I need a phone, I need my phone, and I need an iPad. Because they're both shut off. And in order for me to do the work in the field that's required for the hydraulically connected segments, that's the whole purpose of getting that stuff, was so that the iPad, so that I can do work out in the field. That's on the same contract, phone contract as my phone.
You have a new computer that's not capable of mapping hydrologically connected segments.
You have to go out in the field and you have to document the stuff in the field. And then you bring it back and then you can work with the computer at the shop.
Why is the computer not good enough, the laptop not good enough to go into the field?
You have to take photos, correct?
I have to do a bunch of different things, and that's why the state recommended that I get the iPad, which we purchased. And also for the satellite.
I don't presume anybody wants to dig into the whole cell phone issue tonight.
I can't even believe that it's still going on, to be honest. It's as simple as a phone call and a couple of numbers.
I have
It's been
information
going
about
on for
that
months.
because the select board asked me to get information about that, and we can talk about that if the select board wants to hear about that.
Sure, we're all ears.
Can we finish through the report first?
Let's do that.
okay. Let's see. I was going to ask if the board wants to proceed with having our crushed gravel stockpile tested by the Agency of Transportation at an estimated cost of $250. And that wouldn't really, as when I discussed it with Jim today, obviously we've got 10,000 yards of material already crushed, so it isn't really checking it for compliance with the crushing. Well, we could have it done, but the spec that's in the crushing contract is not a state, it's not a state specification. I haven't asked them if they'd be willing to test it according to those sieve sizes. I don't see why they wouldn't, but my thought was just to see, we're always speculating on the quality of the material, and it seemed like a fairly inexpensive cost to find out what we really get. But that's the board's decision.
Can you restate the cost?
$250. And that cost is if we sample the material and transport it to the lab in Berlin. Jim occasionally goes over there for class. I don't know when he next goes, but I'm going to be going there in that area, so I wouldn't have to make a special trip both Wednesday and Thursday of this week.
We don't have an agenda item for this. Does the board feel like we could vote to approve the spending if we thought that was a useful idea?
Well, I think currently we have a pile of gravel that we're gonna have to use. I think it's a useful idea for the future, depending on what all is gonna happen with our current source.
That's exactly why I think we ought to do a test to see about the quality of the gravel, because I think that would inform a lot of future decisions. Maybe we don't have to decide that today, and we can put it on the next agenda meeting, next meeting agenda. What do folks think?
Sounds good to me.
Does that work for the commissioner?
Sure.
I have a question about that.
The next,
Go ahead, Jim's gonna.
Sorry.
My only concern with that is, I mean, it's depending on how this turns out with this whole coming to Lander thing. But at 10 cents a yard, with the material being consistent like it always has been, I think that it pretty much outweighs. If we don't end up using that material, we're gonna end up having to get it out of pipe. Plain and simple, cost effective. You're gonna pay a lot of money for that. So that's something to be conscious about.
We're fully conscious of the current price. There are factors at work that put this into play.
Right.
And it's contractual, so the less said, the better right now.
Okay.
So you're gonna put it on the next agenda, maybe,
For the
or a
testing.
future agenda?
No, I think we ought to take it up at the next agenda.
Okay, the stop sign at the intersection of Shadow Lake and Old County Road South has not been installed. Jim said that, told me today, and I wasn't aware of this, that there's never been a stop sign there. He can speak for himself, but he feels a yield sign should be installed instead. I disagree, but to me, it's a stop condition. I understand well, I can let Jim can explain why he thinks it ought to be yield, but
What's the intersection?
it's,
Coming south and Shadow Lake Road.
and it's as you're approaching the intersection from the,
Summer's phone.
From High Ridge intersection.
from
Headed
High
over-
Ridge Road.
Over.
There is a stop sign on the other, coming the other way.
The main concern with the stop sign issue, we talked about it briefly, that, in the wintertime, when that truck comes out of High Ridge and he goes down the other side and comes up through there, if you have the right road conditions, like in the spring when the snow's wet, heavy and slippery, or freezing rain conditions, he's not gonna wanna stop before he tries to round that corner and go down Shadow Lake Road. Because what's gonna happen, which has happened in the past, he's gonna end up in over the edge of the bank right there in their pasture. As you're coming up the hill, you can look. You have some visibility in order to try and get around that corner. But if you put a stop sign there, and we've had discussions with other boards about this, and no action has been taken. Because I said a yield simply because if you put a stop sign there, he doesn't stop, something happens, the town's in trouble. Whereas I don't see any reason why we should set something up for failure. You've got a truck that's 60,000 pounds, slippery road conditions, and he's gonna end up, what's gonna happen is if he has to stop on that incline with those hot tires, as soon as he goes to start again, he's gonna spin. And when he spins, chances are with the crown of the road, he's gonna end up over the bank. So I don't really see any reason why we should set ourselves up for failure. I think if anything, put a yield, that way there, when he's coming up the hill, he can see if he has to stop, he has to stop. But if he doesn't have to stop, he can proceed, and he's not doing something that really is against. I understand from your perspective that every intersection should have a stop sign, but you also have to look at practicality, common sense, that you're not gonna want that truck to stop going up that hill.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just thinking, right now, when I drove through that intersection today, it's like with the the grass on the roadside, if it was yield today, well, I guess you're still yielding, but you can't see up and down the road.
Right.
For my own edification, we're talking about where High Ridge intersects with Shadow Lake.
No,
No.
High Ridge doesn't intersect with Shadow Lake.
It's
County
Old County
South.
South.
County South intersects with Shadow Lake Road.
Well, according to the map, High Ridge does intersect Shadow Lake, but maybe
No, it
that's up in,
Oh, that's in Concord.
That's in Concord on the
Yeah.
other end.
okay, so I went too far.
And the reason I brought it up is because there was, a few meetings ago, there were several things that we asked Jim to do. One, replace the stop sign at Mad Brook and 18, and there was a couple of places where there were hazardous conditions that cones were up in, and he did the others,
I
and
did the others.
yeah, and I had heard that, not that you had told me, but I'd heard that we didn't have any more new stop signs, and so that's why, it wasn't until I talked to you about it today that I realized that you
But that-
objected to it.
That also brings up the other topic of his fence. Because going down Shadow Lake Road, where it's so built up and we can't get the water off the road, if his fence was actually back where it should be, which there has been a former chair that told him to get his fence out of the right of way, but it was never acted on. If in fact his fence was where it should be, then that whole berm down through there could be removed. And if that was the case, it could be maintained in a way that there would be no brush and stuff growing up there. So it would greatly improve your visibility. Because the way it is now, you go down Channel Lake below, just below that turn, and the water is washing the road out. It's scouring the whole road all the way down through there. Because you're carrying water the whole length of that road because it's built up this high. And with this fence there, you can't properly shed the water off the road like it needs to be done.
Is that a matter of ditching or something else?
It's a matter of getting him to remove his fence and put it back out of the right of way, which was already, Mike Barrett, he was the chair of the board, he wrote a letter because there was an accident, so to speak. Sean Goss got into his fence with the point of the plow. They put up a big stink about it, and it was determined that if they removed their fence from the right of way, there would be no problems. So Mike Barrett wrote a letter to Keith telling him to remove his fence out of the right of way, but Keith never had it. But if he did that, it's the same thing going down towards the boat launch, down Ricky's Hill. Same thing, with the fence all down along there, we can't properly get the water off the road like it needs to be.
His fences run right along the road.
I can't even picture how that works, but I'm
Keith,
trying to look it up on Google Earth.
When you drive up there, you'll know.
Yeah. A fence is blocking the flow of water off the road.
Well, because it can't remove the material to
You
allow the
get,
water.
throughout the course of time, you get sand, you get grass, sod, everything develops on your shoulders. And you gotta keep those clean. And in this case, it's been so long since anything's been able to be done there, you've got buildup this high. Or you can't get the water off the road with the berm that high.
Well,
So you kind of have to get little lead outs where you can try to get them down through there, but it's still not adequate.
is this a board action or is this something you should just go ahead and do in the town's right of way?
Well, that is, I need your approval. Mike Barrett wrote that letter telling him to get his fence out of the way. So if you want me to go up there and clean that all off and sacrifice some of this fence, I want you guys to direct me to do that.
Jim had asked me to talk with Keith, and I was going to do that last week, Monday. And I happened to be, I was in there to get the copy of the letter, and Deb said that Marcel has a pretty good relationship with Keith, and she advised that I take Marcel with me.
Yeah, I'd like to work out a diplomatic solution
And
here.
then we also have the issue, oh, excuse me.
Well, I guess my question is, if you're putting a stop sign on the right-hand side, he doesn't own that.
You're right. You're absolutely right now that you just said that. There's somebody else that owns that parcel,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So it's,
But does he lease it or manage it or?
nothing's been on there for a while, but I don't doubt he leases it.
I don't think so.
Why are we talking about property where a stop sign would go when I assume it would be within the town's right of way?
But it's not Keith's land, is what I'm saying. He
Right,
doesn't
okay.
own that.
Oh, that section isn't Keith's anymore?
Yes, I saw that not long ago, that somebody, some girl, there's a woman's name that owns that.
Yes,
bottom piece.
Catherine Scoville, but she's had it for a couple of years now.
Oh.
So that's who you should talk to.
That's who we should talk to,
Okay. Catherine Scoville.
that woman. But then Keith's still going down towards Ricky's. I say Ricky's, it's going down towards, continue on County South, like you're headed to the boat launch,
On the right or the left side?
on the right-hand side.
I thought,
Just denial.
You got
did
Wade
Teal's
Denial
not
and
just
stuff
buy
on the
that,
right.
Robin? Or Glen,
No, I don't think,
I
I
thought
think
Teal
Teal's
was
on
looking
the
at
right.
that piece, or Glen Powers.
so it's that, I think, are we still talking on the right, it's still White Mountain Trust.
Yeah, this would be Keith.
I'm not aware, I wouldn't know, I don't think he wouldn't have taken all of that. He did up on High Ridge Road.
A yield sign versus a stop sign. It's this intersection, isn't it?
County Shadow Lake. And,
In the right spot?
yeah, as you're approaching the intersection from this way,
Yeah, there's contours here.
there's,
Pretty steep.
there's no,
There's no control at this intersection.
there's a stop sign on where you head your arrow, but there's not one if you're approaching it from this side.
There's a stop sign right here.
Yes,
And we're talking about getting some control from where?
On the other corner.
Over here,
opposite corner here.
diagonal across.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Jim is arguing it ought to be a yield sign.
Yeah, because it's a steep hill.
It is. a
Where would the
steep
yield sign go? On this side
That
again?
is White Mountain.
I think you should.
It would go where, same place.
The stop sign is right now. So
Well,
you're coming down the hill on Shadow Lake, you want to make a turn right onto Old County Road. And if I understand Jim, you're arguing it should be a yield sign and not a stop sign?
no, if you're
No,
traveling
Not
on Old
coming
County.
down Shadow Lake Road and turning onto County South.
You're gonna be
It's
coming up
coming
Old
up
County
County
Road.
South, turning
You're
on
coming
Shadow
Old
Lake.
County Road south this way.
Yeah.
And you're gonna turn onto Shadow Lake. Right
Going
here,
Up
there's
the
no
hill or
sign.
down?
Down the hill. So
Okay.
you're not going, there's no sign right there.
Yeah.
There's a stop sign over here
Yeah.
on this corner, and this part goes down to the dam itself.
And
So it's
the
this
argument
section
is make-
right here,
Make this a yield?
yes.
See, there was even discussion of putting stop signs on Shadow Lake Road, on the up and down hillside. We had that discussion as well, but, when it all came down to it, the board decided not to take any action in putting anything there.
How do we decide this? The visibility is appropriate for a yield sign?
It would be if we can,
Get the fence up.
clean that fence out, clean that material all the way down the hill. Because to the left, your visibility, when you're coming up to that, you're going slow enough, you can actually see up by the barn. But Wade, you said something at one time about maybe taking a drive over there and looking at it. I think it might be best if you put your eyes on it and let us
Wait a
know.
minute, we've got a road commissioner who can do that. What's wrong with that?
Well, I think that he has a lot more qualifications when it comes to law enforcement and stuff than Ron does.
Wade, what do you think?
I'll take a look at it. I don't mind doing that if Ron wants to go too. No problem.
Sure. So the two of you can work it out and report back and,
Works for me.
all right. Next agenda on the 10th, or do you want more time with that?
No, that's fine.
All right.
And the last thing I had on my report was, and we may not be able to make a decision on this because it wasn't on the agenda, but I got a complaint from I got a complaint about damage that was done to a fence last winter. And it is at the end of, well, it is by the cul-de-sac, if that's what we call it, I don't know, turnaround on Slate Ledge Road. And I sent a picture to you as well, but it's, Jim and I both, we do agree on this one that we think the fence is outside of the town's right of way. It definitely was hit by a plow, by the town plow.
I'll get that far out if it's outside the right of way.
Well, because it's a turnaround spot, and yeah, it's a cul-de-sac, so he's turning around there, and so, but if you follow the way the road goes and come 25 feet, 20,
Center line?
24, 3/4 feet, whatever, it is out beyond it. Now, I don't know how, I admit that I don't know how a cul-de-sac works, if that's different, but I don't think so, but it's the boards, it's a couple of boards that have been taken off. It's, posts with 2 wood planks on it. Didn't look to be in very good condition, but it's definitely not in very good condition now. But anyways,
I saw your photo of it. The plank can't be just tacked back up to the post?
I don't think the plank is in
Pretty raw
shape to be.
The damage was done when?
Last
Last
winter.
winter.
So that's my question when I saw it.
And now all of a sudden?
I don't know. I forgot to ask the gentleman why he was contacting me at this point. He did say that he'd left 2 messages for Jim, and Jim never got back to him. Jim says he didn't.
I was unaware of that, fence getting taken down.
What's the name of the owner of the fence?
Roger
Martell.
Martell.
Oh,
And the individual that had that route never said anything, never brought it up, that the fence had been hit. I happened to notice it this summer in grading out there. I happened to notice the 2 end rails were knocked off. Any number of things could have happened in order to do that. So, now it's brought to our attention that supposedly it was a plow truck. But it is outside the right of way. We feel it's outside the right of way. It is in the cul-de-sac.
is there any indication that it actually was the fault of a plow driver?
I have no idea. I never heard that it was.
Is the fence in such rotten condition it could have just collapsed on its own steam?
I think something might have hit it, but it is in very, very poor condition. It's all raw.
That's it for my report.
Oh, and you got pictures up there today. Did you do a measurement to see how far off the right of way it might be?
I just roughly measured from the center of the road.
5 paces?
I had a 25-foot tape, and I went out to the end of my tape, and I was at least 5 or 6 feet short of the end of the fence. So because I was just roughing it out, I thought it was accurate enough to know that it was outside the right of way.
Yeah.
What's the board's pleasure? Agenda item for next meeting?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't
You
know.
want me to talk with the property owner more?
Yeah, would you?
Is the post still good? Just need to.
So the upright post seems to be all right. It's no
So it just
telephone
needs
boards. It's the boards going horizontal.
If the town were even to entertain repairing this, is it a potential issue again in the future?
Well, we have a policy now as far as mailboxes and so on and so forth, we don't repair them.
But this is outside the town's right away.
But it might not be, because of the simple fact that any cul-de-sac, like the one up on County, North, off from County North on Stony Brook, I believe cul-de-sacs have like a 75-foot radius. So if this applies to that, it might be in the right of way.
Well, that's an interesting counter argument. Do you have any way to provide authority for that?
We'd have to look. Roger ended up developing it and improve that road so that the town would take it over, it's my understanding. So I don't know, I'm sure that there were stipulations in that when he developed that the cul-de-sac had to be of a certain size.
So this happened last winter and you just received,
So I think if Ron
I
meets,
got a call last week.
if Ron meets with the landowner and maybe they have some documentation that might go back to the cul-de-sac in the town and,
It might very well, because I'm sure when Roger did it, he had to put it into a certain spec. And he might have the paperwork or the any of the information or paperwork that was associated with that, the expectations of the town in order for him to develop that. He might have all that stuff.
What is Roger's last name in this?
Martel.
Okay, yeah. Mr. Road Commissioner, is this something you could sort out a little bit further?
I can try.
Your research?
Yeah.
All right,
Maybe
let's,
the town office has some information too.
let's start with that before we, dig
where were
ourselves
they
into too
straight?
deep.
I mean, why all of a sudden, now, months and months and months and months and months later, they have a concern that the town wrecked their fence?
I can speak a little bit to that. Marcia's providing, shoot, I don't even know what to reveal here. She's been legitimately busy.
Yeah.
And I'm not making excuses for the delay, but I'm saying she does have a legitimate schedule right now.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't think to ask Roger when, when he says that he left these messages. Maybe he left one shortly after it happened and followed up, and I have no idea, I'm just throwing out possibilities.
The only correspondence I have with Roger, like I told Ron, is that this spring, he got in touch about his road needed grading and it was rough. I usually get that from him about every year. And so we ended up putting some material out there and we graded it.
I'm not
That's
arguing.
all the
but-
correspondence I've had with Roger.
I'm careful about the precedent, I think we've got a plan, at least for the time being. Thanks, Ron, and thanks, Jim. Last item on the agenda before executive session is the road commissioner job description. By now, I presume everybody's had an opportunity to read the amended job description.
So my first question would be, is the job description really necessary at this point now that Ron's on the select board?
I'm gonna say we need a road commissioner's job description, because every job should have a job description, whether it's because he's on the board or what, that we should just have it and have it on file.
I'm making no prediction about what unfolds going forward, but the issue isn't that Ron is the road commissioner for the time being. The issue is we need a job description for the road commissioner work now and in the future. And the question is the description we have here a reasonably good place to start? Have you had a chance to read it?
Yeah, I've read it a
I
couple
think
times.
it's a good place to start. Where I would caution is where it also says on the top, stipend. So if it is a select board member, we're already getting some sort of a stipend.
Yeah, we need to cross that bridge, I suppose. Ron, you're not expecting double dipping, are you?
I hadn't given any thought, but no,
Sorry, Ron.
Truly. The plus side is, I think the select board pay is just slightly better than the road commissioner pay.
Speaking in regards to the job description, the first paragraph is fantastic. The rest of it talks about taking up, duties that currently are probably part of the road foreman's job description, if he even has one. And
The road foreman definitely has a job description.
And then the next thing for me would be that, what are we doing with the road foreman's position? And if it's gonna open up again, it should be, the public should be notified and other folks in town should have the opportunity to offer up their services rather than somebody just be appointed.
Road commissioner, you mean, Sean?
You said road foreman position.
Road commissioner.
Yeah. Right now, we have a road commissioner through next spring's reorganization of the select board. Unless there's a resignation that we're not anticipating right now. So we're still coming back to, is this job description a good enough place to start?
I feel it is.
My view is that the road commissioner is the liaison, just as it states here, between the select board and the highway department. He doesn't have supervisory oversight of the foreman, except now he does as a select board member, but not as a road commissioner. So are the job descriptions acceptable, the coordination with the road foreman, assistance, project planning and oversight, safety, administration and budget, regulatory compliance and reporting, yada, yada. Let me put it this way. Can we have a motion to approve the job description as presented, and then we can discuss it and vote in favor or not in favor?
I'll make a motion.
Kathy moves. Can we have a second? Wade? Sean?
We can remove the stipend from the description.
I'd like to move this along, so I'm gonna second. So there's a motion and second on the table. Discussion. How about if we amend the stipend portion to say stipend if not select board member?
Yeah, however we need to word that.
Say again?
However, the proper wording.
Stipend if not select board member. Other thoughts about the job description? Everybody satisfied with the description so far?
You know where I'm at, I don't have to keep repeating myself.
Sean, I would argue that as a select board member, you owe it to the public to express your thoughts and your mind and your thinking process
I've done that.
on this. Well, we're here tonight and we have a job description in front of us, and I think you owe it to the public to share your thoughts.
I've shared them 100 times. One, I'm concerned that when Ron gets done with this and you have that kind of job description and you go to put it out to public bid, somebody's gonna want 80 and 100 and $110,000, not a stipend.
They're not gonna get it.
That's a lot of work there. Also, I still believe that some of that job description there crosses over to Jim's job description, and that's like putting two rams in a,
Which
in
part?
a, all this stuff down below.
Which part? Assist road foreman, assist road foreman, assist road foreman, is it that part? Review invoices, track expenditures, is it that part? Provide regular updates, is it that part?
I'm just gonna say it's concerning to me, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
I want to know the thought process, because if we're going to amend this, then we need some feedback. Anybody else have concerns or thoughts about it? Rob, description?
My only thing is, I would think that I would abstain from the vote on it. I don't know if I ought to be voting on it or not, I guess is what I'm asking.
I understand where you're coming from.
For how many, 50, 100 years? There hasn't been a road commissioner's job description before.
We have a lot of positions that didn't have job descriptions.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to get them all in place.
Yeah,
We need
We have
to
2 questions.
21st century. Jim first.
Go ahead. I just have, there must be,
Hang on a second, I don't recognize you.
Matthew Ash is my name.
Say again?
Matthew Ash.
ASHE? ASH. You're
Ashy.
Okay, town of Waterford resident?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Live on Duck Pond Road.
thank you.
How did you come up with your job description? Did you get based it on other towns in the area or?
Yes, and the road commissioner put his input in from his experience as a state of Vermont contractor, I believe. Engineer. And the town office put their human resources, best practices, input into the description as well.
A lot of it came from other towns.
Jim?
My only concern is with all this assist, how much time is that gonna take out of my day to work with the road commissioner?
I would think it should gain you time overall because you've got the assistance of somebody, not somebody who's in your way.
My only concern is if you're not working there daily, you're not gonna know what's going on.
But assisting with grants and assisting with some of the other work.
And that has to come from me. We'll have a discussion about the grants. Because unless you have experience in grant writing and figuring, estimating and doing jobs, you can't do it. So that being the case, you're gonna need somebody if they're gonna assist in grant writing. If you've already got a grants manager, she handles the technical part, so to speak, as far as the writing.
Right, but
And then I do the field work.
by helping you get quotes and stuff like that, and you wouldn't have to spend as much time on the phone if you had the road commissioner that could reach out and get quotes.
I don't see it that way. I look at it as though I have to relay all that stuff to him in order for him to get the prices. And if I've got to relay everything to him, I might just log in myself. You have to be very careful there when you're talking about somebody trying to benefit, help, I understand that. But it all comes down to if they don't have the working knowledge of what's taking place and what's going on, and I have to take the time to educate them and bring them up to speed, then I'm taking time out of my schedule, doing something that the amount of time that it takes me to describe everything, I could just well do it myself.
And the budgeting, he could help with the budgeting.
There may be some areas to yet work out, but I think that reliance on people who know what they're doing, like in the treasurer's office and the assistant treasurer, and Ron's got some experience and background, fairly sharp guy. I think that there's reason to rely on people who know what they're doing, even if they don't know your specific task at any time. So I'm suggesting good communication.
Right. And with that takes time.
Beg pardon?
I said, and with doing that, it takes time.
It might. Hopefully it's gonna get a lot easier.
Right.
Further thoughts or comments? All right, we have a motion and a second on the table. Any other discussion? Call the question then. All those in favor of approving the job description as written and amended regarding the stipend matter here, please signify by saying aye. Aye?
Aye. I'm gonna say aye though with a caveat of, I think it's a good start. But if we need to readdress it, we should.
It's absolutely a flexible document as we need for our purposes. All those opposed? Abstaining?
I'll abstain.
I'll abstain.
Okay, so we have 3 aye,
Actually,
0.
I'll go no.
We have 3 ayes, 1 nay, and 1 abstain. It appears the ayes have it. And the ayes do have it. All right, we have the start of a approved job description. Thank you, lady and gentlemen. So that's, let's see, Highway Department Road Crew advertisement.
I have a copy of the last one that was put in, and we need to know of any changes and the dates you want to run it.
I think there's a 800-pound gorilla in the room, and I think we ought to put this off 2 weeks. I'm 20% voice here. Other thoughts?
I think we.
My 20% says we should put an ad in the paper for an 18-speed standard CDL truck driver and see what we get. It's gonna take time to get resumes anyway.
Sean, I didn't follow. Was that an actual motion?
Sure, I'll spin it into a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, wait seconds. Further discussion?
Does anybody want to read this ad? Because I thought we changed it.
We did, sorry.
So this, I think this was all the same.
I think the 18 speed was what we needed to add, right?
18 speed at CDL.
Standard.
And did we need, heavy equipment experience? Greater or
Whether
whether?
the 18 speed.
Okay,
You should have the word standard in there, so they know they're popping a clutch.
Drive standard transmission.
Wait, I didn't hear something you were saying. I thought it might be
He said-
important.
he thinks we should eliminate the base pay.
How does that work?
You just take it out, gives us flexibility.
Flexibility.
Well, we know we pay that we're not gonna go below, I suppose.
But it might discourage some people that,
We might get a private applicant and
yeah, it might discourage some people who are experienced enough. They might-
okay.
I don't,
Something simple like pay dependent on experience.
We can do that.
commensurate.
Base pay commensurate with, okay, 25-hour can come out. Sean, is that friendly to you?
Yeah.
Wade, friendly? Okay. Any other discussion?
Base pay commensurate with the experience. 18-speed CDL truck driver.
18-speed standard CDL.
And what dates do you want it run and when do you want it? Close it. And applications, well, we don't want this going to the treasurer, it needs to go to the town clerk.
Well, we're the treasurer in the clerk's absence. But yes,
Town clerk. And then application deadline, requirements, this needs to come down here, right? Needs to come down here to CDL.
I don't think we even need to do a deadline, do we?
application deadline?
Continuous recruitment.
So today's Monday. It could be running as early as what, Wednesday? And I think that says you want to run it at least on a Saturday.
Yeah, you want it for the weekend, I think.
So Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays, they tell me are the best days to run a classified.
Yeah. Locally, it's a Saturday paper to cover the weekend. So run it 6 times over a 2-week period, is that what folks are thinking? Or just 3 times over a 1-week period?
Are
6 times over a 2-week period, we want to get some notice.
is this going on the league's website as well? The league, city
VLCT.
tax.
VLCT.
I'm happy to explore putting it there. I know
I think we
we've
should
done
put
it in the past.
We should put it around Facebook there.
Yeah.
I could put it up on LinkedIn.
Okay, Sean, Wade, you'll put it up on LinkedIn, assuming that we vote in favor.
6 ads, right? Is
I'll
that what we decided?
discuss it with VLCT.
Well, that's,
6 ads for 2 weeks, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
You're gonna put it on Front Porch
I was
Forum,
gonna say, that was
and
what I was
then
gonna
you
say.
should put it on the St. Johnsbury page, because there's a lot of people there that I can tell you are paywalled, and they don't read the town rec. So,
Put it on St. J front page as well.
no, they have a community page, if Donna Good use it, I think you can probably post it.
It's on the Facebook.
On their Facebook.
Community page. Okay. All righty. Anything else, folks? Hearing none, call the vote. So all those in favor of running a highway department road crew member ad for 6 publications over 2 weeks, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Application deadline, do we want that? Put it out for like August, I don't know, what, 21st? August something? Because you can't start interviews until you've collected all your applicants, I presume.
That's not true.
yeah, you can start as soon as you get one.
Jim's probably gonna wanna do a proficiency demonstration.
Are you taking time off in August, Jim?
You what?
Are you taking any time off in August? Okay.
So Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, I presume that gets us out to Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Run it beginning this Saturday?
I would.
Okay, so July, we're at 27, so it's gonna run on the
Saturday's the
31st. Yeah. So it'll run on the 1st and the 8th, and then the following Monday and Wednesday, which is out to the 13th. So application deadline by when?
It's 21st.
This is gonna run this Saturday. Are we running it 2 Saturdays? So this will be the last Saturday. We have to get this Monday in. One Monday, Sunday.
August 16th is a Friday, I believe.
August 16th is a Sunday.
Yeah. How about August 21st, Friday?
That will give them that'll give them 2 weeks, because if we're running on the 1st and the 8th, we could even have them in on the 17th.
That could work. The last day the ad would run would be Wednesday, the 12th.
Right.
Have them in by the 17th. We're meeting on the 10th. Folks, make a decision.
17th.
17th? Friendly amendment?
That will give them time to send them out to us to review.
What about the 14th? And then if we had to, we could meet on Monday, the 17th. We should really get somebody in there.
Could meet on the 17th, but we still
That's what I
are
said,
doing
couldn't meet.
a demo drive at the lot for proficiency. Are you good with the 17th, or do you want to make it earlier?
I'm good.
All right, 17th it is. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of running the ad for Highway Department road crew member 6 times for 2 weeks, beginning this Saturday, the 1st, and running through Wednesday, the 12th, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, running the ad. Application deadline on Monday, the 17th. Please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm voting no. Appears the ayes have it, and the ayes do have it. Hannah, 4-1. All right, good luck to that. I think that is our full agenda. Oh, agenda for next meeting. Collected ideas here already. Folks have anything extra they want to add? Anybody want me to read what we do have so far?
Yes, please.
Yeah. I don't even know what my notes mean here. 2 years select board, 9 years school. Oh, that's wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah. So what's next for our agenda? Here we are. Gravel test at state AOT for approximately $250, maybe more. Old County Road and Shadow Lake yield versus stop sign. County at Shadow, sorry, that's the same thing. Fence damage report, Roger and Martell. Ron's gonna be doing some research onto that. Also, green burial in the town of Waterford on the next agenda. That's what I have so far. Anybody else?
Well, I think we should discuss the stipend versus the select board pay.
Yep.
We're gonna reorganize at the next meeting. That should probably be on the agenda.
Good call.
We should probably find out where the checks ever mailed to the Gillanders and where they cashed or what's going on there. We should probably,
Lander update.
in one of these light years, figure out what's going on with the phone and the iPad. And then we've got an easement issue, I believe, out on the Daniels Farm Road in regards to the culvert, and that's supposed to begin work in August.
No, both easements are in and signed and
Yay.
executed, yeah.
All right, so we can skip that.
That was in my report, and I forgot to read it, I was skimming through it.
Okay,
I have a question.
hang on, I wanted to make sure I capture this. You said, Sean, stipend versus select board pay.
Yeah,
What did you say right after that?
reorganize at the next
Yeah,
meeting.
thank you. That would be NVDA, and what was the other?
NVDA, then you gotta get yourself a vice chairman.
Vice Chair. Okay. And then you said the Lander update,
Yeah,
phone and iPad,
yeah.
yeah. All right,
Weren't there 2 fences
I
that
thought-
you need updates?
hang on a sec, please.
Were there 2 fences you need updates? Is that the same agenda item?
It's 2 separate ones.
Right. Marshall's fence and then,
The one on,
Shadow Lake.
Shadow
and
Lake.
Bowers.
Oh, for water, stormwater handling? We
it's
didn't really
not Powers, it's someone else. So
address that, but can you look into the details of that further? Yep. Shadow Lake plus stormwater drainage. Okay. Jim, did you still have something?
Yes, I thought earlier we were talking about the phone, and I thought we were gonna continue the discussion on that.
That's not on the agenda tonight.
Okay, so. All right, without the appropriate stuff, that's gonna get put off, the grants and aid stuff. Time is of the essence on that.
It's an expenditure of money, so we have to put it on the agenda.
But I thought we voted last meeting that you were gonna talk to Heather and have her get the phone.
Right,
No, I said I was gonna talk to Heather and give the board some information. You didn't authorize me to take any action.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah.
We authorized for you to instruct her to get the contract signed up and the iPad and the phone dealt with.
That doesn't sound familiar at all.
You said you were gonna take care of it.
I said I was going to follow through the board's request. Was that at the 13th? Because I have the agenda right, the minutes right here.
Just toward the very end.
I believe it was an executive session when we were discussing it.
Well, then we would have come out of executive session to
It was one of the last items on
take an action.
Let me see.
Let me see, where is that?
Right here. Board directed Timier to reach out to the treasurer to get the town road foreman a cell phone purchased from either AT&T or Verizon.
Well, I've got information for you. I didn't authorize her to do anything, and it is a board decision to spend the money on it. I didn't think you were authorizing me with a blank check.
It's not really a blank check. We're gonna save $20 supposedly.
That's not the information that I have. So regardless, that's, sounds like it's next meeting.
I'm gonna go another, when's the next meeting?
I mean,
August 10.
So,
so we stand to lose $20-something thousand in state grant money to fix our roads over a cell phone and an iPad contract that somebody could get on the phone for tomorrow and straighten out. How does that make any sense in the world?
Well, for starters, the treasurer's office asked for specific billing information, including the itemized billing that is required by IRS statute starting in May. And the foreman has been given that request repeatedly and has not provided it. That's where we start. So that was back in May.
So my
I
report to that
provided
would
that
be,
information.
if it's in the
with all the
town,
detailed phone calls, because that's what we have.
I don't, she didn't specify that.
She certainly did, because you
But I
provided it
provided all
up through
that
April,
information.
Jim. Don't make a mistake on this. You provided that up through April. You were asked to provide it in May, and you did not do that.
folks,
I was told to provide that before June 4th, and I did. And you've got in your thing here, which we will discuss, that I was 3 weeks late in doing that, which is complete false. That's not true at all.
Do we have the itemized bill for May, June billing?
I ended up providing everything from the start of that phone up through.
I believe there was another.
And I had to do it 3 times because it didn't satisfy her, and didn't satisfy her. Anything that was financial in that is provided.
I believe it was a copy up through June 29th that you needed to provide something else.
You know what?
Go back and-
Then we get into the discussion of, is it my phone or is it the town?
hold on here.
That's a whole nother one.
First off, if we instruct the town treasurer, whoever it is, to convert the contract over to the town, then we're not gonna have these issues to begin with, because
That's
the
right.
bill and everything is gonna go right to the town.
And the bill is
And then we can
$20
fight about over
less.
yesteryear another time.
The bill is $20 less than what we were paying.
And do we really wanna lose out on $20,000+ worth of state grant over a cell phone contract?
No, Sean, we definitely don't want to lose out on a $20,000 grant over a cell phone contract.
But in the meantime, I also don't have any connection with emergency services, state police, nothing. When the tree was down over here, Amy Gendron, that works for Green Mountain Power, had to come to the town clerk's office, get the shop phone number and call me, because my cell phone doesn't work. So any emergency services, calling, anything, state police, I have no phone.
Okay. The phone is in your name and it has your address. Do you have to put something in writing to Verizon to state that it needs to be transferred to?
I have all the information right here. The Verizon representative got in touch with the regional representative on my behalf. He said the only thing, because originally it started out, the town had to have a charter. He worked his magic, and when it's all said and done, which he corresponded with Heather about this, that all that needs to be provided by the town is a W-9 and a tax exempt form, and they can transfer that account into the town's name. It will be $20 less than what it was. It's a brand new phone. It'll be $20 less than what it was, and that includes the iPad as well. So you'll have the cell phone, you'll have the iPad, and it'll be $20 cheaper than what we were paying, and everything will go back to normal. Then I can use that phone for my hydraulically connected sections. The town owns that phone. I have my own personal phone. It's a win-win all the way around. But if you go somewhere else, you're gonna pay full boat for a phone and stuff. It's not gonna save the town any money. You've got an existing phone. You've got the number, because the number will go with that phone, and that is out to all the vendors, all the state, emergency services. That 8107 is the number, contact number for the town, and that goes with the phone. So,
Heather tried to reach Robert Kingston, no reply. You're referring to Chris at the local Verizon?
Chris Biatti, he
How do you spell that?
set it up. Chris Biatti is the gentleman's name.
B-E-A-T-T-I-E, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Say again?
B.
B is in boy.
Oh, Biatti.
And he has corresponded with Heather. I have the correspondence.
274-2566?
Just a second. Oh, I shut it down. He simplified everything for the town.
Wait. Should have been handled weeks ago. It would be a shame to lose that grant money to fix our roads.
The upshot from my conversation with Heather is that the first option available to the town is not a viable path forward with Verizon. No changes known re the company's policy. And the first option was current cell phone and cell phone number transfer to town's name under an account number I have here, and with a phone ID 802-278-8107, apparently is not an option with Verizon. So we might have to be looking to go to AT&T.
That's not true.
Well, Heather spoke with Chris Biatti, and that's what apparently the upshot is.
You know, I've spoke to Chris Biatti on several different occasions, and he has assured me that there is no problem whatsoever. If Heather talks to the regional manager, he can put that deal through. They transfer the account into the town's name. They take over assume the rights to the phone, and it's a go deal.
You're talking about Robert Kingston at some corporate level?
That's right, I am.
All right, so far, he's been missing in action in this
Right.
conversation, not for lack of trying. All right, I'm understanding that the board would like me to continue to follow through on this and push for some sort of a resolution that's going to involve obtaining a town phone for the foreman's use and the iPad contract. Am I hearing this correctly? But we don't have a number yet for the contract value. So I don't propose that the select board is giving me a blank check to accomplish this.
I would direct, never mind propose.
direct
Yeah,
an elected official, Sean, it doesn't work like that.
One more
I
thing,
agree.
if I could.
Hang on a second, we're chewing on this for a moment.
Isn't the money already in the budget for phone?
That must be because of this contract.
So we're not spending additional monies, are we?
Nope, it's supposedly $20 less.
The bill we have seen so far is actually $19 more.
That's because the first payment is 167, and after that, with the automatic withdrawal, I had it all itemized out from him for you, and I believe it was sent to every one of you. It comes out to, from 147, comes out to about 126. That's the final tally on that phone. And I also want it stated for the record, that when the town was in a bind before, and we couldn't get a cell phone, I did the town a favor by putting that phone in my name. And then the town paid for it. So now I have the contract on that phone. So if you guys wanna search somewhere else, I'm on the hook for that phone. Which could very easily be turned over to the town and used for town
We're
purposes.
talking about the iPhone 17 that you currently possess.
And and I'm also talking about the iPad that I'm paying for that's yours.
You've stated that the iPhone 17 is your personal phone, so
No, that is the replacement phone for the town one that had mechanical problems and I had no choice but to replace it. And in replacing it, the bill was gonna be $20 less than what we were paying currently.
the problem in the argument is that we've been paying a insurance maintenance plan for replacement of any phone that we were leasing to obtain a new phone in the event of a failure of the phone you were using.
You weren't leasing that.
Whatever the case was, we had a warranty plan for that phone. So we could have obtained a new phone at no cost because we were already paying a warranty program for that phone.
I don't believe that's correct.
It's absolutely correct, Jim. Let's not argue
You're
about
gonna have
that.
to show me the proof. And then I'm gonna take it to Verizon and I'm gonna ask them about it. Because Christy Addy, who's the one that, because when Heather corresponded with him, they actually were joking back and forth about the fact that how they went down this road and they weren't able to obtain a phone the first time because of the charter situation. So he's the one that sold us the first phone. Okay? And I do not, in going back to him, when he looked up that plan, it didn't say anything about a free phone.
If you had spoken with Marcel, he would have stated exactly that.
Yeah, well, I'll go to Chris and I'll find out exactly what's going on.
When did you obtain the iPhone 17?
May.
In May, after the other phone broke and I went down and tried to have it fixed and they stuck a new SIM card in it and then it lasted 2 days and then it died again. So I didn't have any choice but to get another phone. And in doing so, from the town perspective, it was $20 cheaper than what we were paying. That being the case, just like my authority to buy a new windshield for a truck if it's broke, I can look out for town funds. This was a case where the phone was broke, it was used for town work, I need a phone, it was $20 cheaper, same plan, which is already an existing contract. So that being the case, that it was an existing contract, that phone was broke, updated to a new phone, same contract, $20 cheaper than what the other phone was. I really didn't see how it was gonna cause such issues with the town.
A lot of reasons, but most importantly, there was a warranty on the old phone.
I'll look into that, and I'll get back to you.
The town
Because, I will get on that tomorrow.
The town canceled the automatic payment, the bill hasn't been paid, and now we've put our employee at jeopardy, credit-wise and financial-wise, to own the ownership of paying that bill. How's that fair employment?
We need to see the itemized billing for May, June. Itemized billing pursuant to IRS
Again,
regulation.
again, that has nothing to do with moving forward. And moving forward has everything to do with $20,000+ worth of grants for our roads.
What you're
Why are we gonna
proposing,
play
Sean, is
games
that we're gonna
over
be
a phone?
discussing, select board, executive session material here in the open public, and I don't think that's a place to go
I'm
right now.
done. I'm all set with it. You can make a motion to adjourn and go into executive session for all I'm concerned.
So cell phone is on the agenda for the next meeting, I presume. Any other additions to the agenda?
Well, remember, I believe the deadline for the $20,000 worth of grants is September. Is that correct, Jim?
September 30th, it has to be done. I'm already getting notices from the agency asking, inquiring as to why we haven't gotten the paperwork into them for approval, so then they can send us documentation back to give us the authorization to go.
So you need to check to see if you signed that document
Which document?
for the grant.
For
Crossroad.
For
Crossroad, I did sign.
So then, Ron could follow up with Heather, I guess, to see where we're at.
For Crossroad. Yeah. I'll be in communication with Heather tomorrow about the iPad and the cell phone.
I know it's not my turn, but when I was skimming through my report, there was something I think probably the Daniels Farm Road project that Daryl Matthews is doing.
Yeah.
Will be starting sometime in August. I haven't got a firm start date, but as soon as Jim and I get a firm start date, I guess we let Deb put some notice on the, I don't know how we've done it in the past, Facebook page or whatever, to warn people that the road is gonna be closed for 2 weeks plus.
Facebook and maybe the paper for people who aren't on Facebook. Or Front Porch Forum. Front Porch Forum doesn't cost you anything.
Do we need to have flaggers for that, or is it gonna be one lane available, or no?
No, it's closed.
Totally. Okay.
Yeah, it's closed, and it's like Mad Brook Road was closed last year.
Right.
2 weeks, you thought?
That's what
he told us.
Daryl Matthews told us.
Okay. Project starting when?
I don't know the firm date, but sometime in August.
I'll also state that I spoke directly with Daryl Matthews, and he is willing to discuss an arrangement whereby he would pick up the last little tidbit of plowing on Smith Road that's currently in the Waterford section. It's like 200 feet of plowing. It's a pain in the neck for the plow crew. And we're gonna re-enter that conversation in early October. All right, I think we've covered enough ground. Motion to go into executive session for employment matter
So
and
moved.
contract matter.
So moved.
Sean moves,
I'll second.
Kathy seconds. We'll invite Jim into executive session. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it appears the ayes have it, and the ayes do have it.
Thank you.
Good night, folks.
My computer is frozen, so I can't turn off the stream yet, so stay quiet until it unfreezes.
All right, if nobody objects, I'd like to use the facility.
Something
Oh, it's the one that they're trying to
like-
It's not.
Anna, can you